Hey Karina,
Hi,
how are you?
how are you? I'm good.
I'm doing good. This is Tom from YouKnowIGotSoul.com.
Nice to, nice
Uh,
to talk to
yeah,
you
good to
again.
talk to you.
Sorry.
But I appreciate your time. Thanks for taking the time out for the interview.
No problem.
So, the first thing I wanted to talk to you about, I was reading in your bio. I found it kind of interesting. Your first language was Russian. So
Yeah.
what kind of drew you to R&B music?
Well, um, my first language, yeah, was Russian, but it's not like I was just like involved into Russian culture and Russian music, like
Yeah.
the first language, and then I spoke Spanish, and then I spoke English, and I went
Mhm.
to classical school from kindergarten to eighth grade, and it was different types of kids. So I guess the whole thing that drew me into R&B and soul and stuff is my dad was playing a lot of different types of music, from jazz to R&B to
Mhm.
the Beatles, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Elvis Presley, like everything.
Yeah.
So I just loved the feeling, loved the emotions that people in R&B and soul that you can just feel through the music.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really drew my attention towards.
Cool. Yeah, I can definitely feel you on that. Um, I was reading that from an early age, age 3, you started taking piano lessons. What kind of drew your interest to do piano lessons?
Well, I had a babysitter who actually was a piano teacher. So my my dad and my mom, I guess they were like, let's have her take piano and also dance as well. Like my dad, he just had the vision before I was born. Like he was like, she's a singer, I'm gonna do piano, to dance. So it was basically just my dad who put me into all of that since I was young.
Hmm. Cool. So now, to talk a little bit about your first, your debut album. I was reading that you recorded over 50 songs for that album. What was the decision process like, for picking songs that would make the album, and how were you able to choose?
It was so hard, I have to say, because there were so many songs that I loved that didn't make the album. But I guess it was just narrowing down to see what the songs fit with the concept and just, just the songs that I felt would be right for the album. So we just kept narrowing down, and I have to say it was really hard. But I'm gonna have to go through that again now for my second album.
Yeah.
but but yeah, it was still a great process to have a lot of songs to choose from
Hmm.
instead of having too little. Like it was a good problem, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. You worked with hit writers like Neo and The Dream, and what were you able to pick up like from working with them?
Um, I guess um, what's the word? I don't know why I can't think of it right now. Discipline of
Okay.
working in the studio and the how much effort they put into it. I mean, even though they put a lot of effort, it seems effortless sometimes. Like when I'm in the studio with them, like it's it's just amazing to see people so gifted of them to create in the studio. So it was I learned um to just let it flow.
Hmm.
Like not to try to force anything. If you're trying to like really force it, then it's not really coming out the way. Obviously, it's not supposed to be that way. So
Yeah.
just let it flow and really just do what you feel at
Yeah.
the moment.
Cool. I've seen you perform the song "Slow Motion" a lot live, online, and that seems to be a fan favorite. What does that song mean to you? And give me some background on it.
Um, Gordon Chambers, he wrote the song, and Barry Eastman produced it as well and I'm actually working with them for my second album. Sorry to babble,
Hmm. No
but
problem.
so that song, it definitely has a lot of meaning to me,
Yeah.
especially since I was about 16 or 15 when I
Hmm.
when I played that song. It's just like it's just a message that is so powerful and that I felt a lot of girls, like young girls especially, just need to hear something like that in this day of age, seeing that so many girls feel like they have to be pressured to do certain things that most guys usually try to get out of them. So it's just something that I wanted to spread and really put out there so that girls don't have to feel like they have to. You know, like it's all on your time. It's whenever you feel ready, whenever you feel ready to have a relationship, to talk to guys, to do anything. You know, it's all on you. You don't have to do it. So that's what I go by as well. So that song means a lot to me, and it's amazing how that's the song that seems to be the favorite off of the album. Like I just love that song so much.
Cool. Yeah, that's something I picked up when listening to your debut. You know, songs like 16 at War, you were touching on subjects that people like your age, didn't really talk about in music. You know, what made you kind of want to take the lead and, talk about those things?
I felt like it was needed, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like there's time for fun, there's time for, love songs and all that, but sometimes you really have to talk about what's going on. So I felt like, this is what I stand for, this is what I'm going to put out. Like, it's my introduction to the music industry, and I'm going to show everybody what I'm about.
Yeah, cool. Your debut, you had an all-star cast on there, you got rave reviews, you were nominated for a Grammy, but unfortunately it didn't really translate into sales, What do you really attribute that to?
I would say I strongly believe it was lack of promotion.
Okay.
It wasn't put out there as much as I was hoping for, and I think that was one of the main reasons. But the fact that it got nominated for a Grammy, it just made me so like it made me, because I was second guessing myself at a certain point. I can't even lie. I was like, oh my goodness, like I don't know what I did wrong, or like I was just like in such a horrible state. But the fact that it got nominated for a Grammy just shows that people still appreciate music that has depth and integrity to it. So that, especially since it was coming from my peers, like the peers in the music industry, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was disappointed from the sales, but next time, I hope this doesn't happen.
Yeah. And, people, I've heard comparisons of you to a young Alicia Keys and some other people. Does that kind of put pressure on you to perform and, be even bigger?
I wouldn't say it would put pressure. I would say it would just make me want to show everyone what I'm capable of and why I'm who I am. I love that comparison, though, because I look up to Alicia Keys.
Okay.
She's an amazing, talented person, so musician. So I wouldn't say that it would put pressure on me. I would say it's a great comparison to have, being that I'm so much younger than her. So
yeah. Cool. I was wondering, do you feel like someone like yourself, you have a very gifted voice, you're very talented, you might not get the recognition you deserve in favor of some less talented artists who are, kind of just eye candy, things like that?
Well, sometimes. I mean, this is different generations, because sometimes I feel like I was born into the wrong generation. Like I'm such an old soul when I think about it, that I just love real music, raw vocals, live music, everything. And nowadays it's like the synths and auto-tune and, all that stuff. And it seems to be popular now, but I think that people are still waiting for that comeback, that real, Jasmine Sullivan is doing it. There's still a lot of people who are, sticking to real music. So I sometimes do feel like I don't get the recognition I deserve, but I know I have a lot of fans who love the music that I do, and I know there are people that listen.
Yeah. Just as someone who loves R&B and soul music myself, it bothers me that I see some of these artists on TV who I know aren't talented in favor of some who, I really know can sing, and they just can't get the shine they deserve. So
I wouldn't say they're not talented, like everybody is their own person.
Yeah.
So everybody's great at what they do.
I guess that's fair. So, it's been nearly 3 years since your debut album. Talk to me about the current project you're working on.
I am so excited with my current project. I've been working so hard on recording it. I've actually been recording in the span of 2 years. Well, writing and recording, because I'm getting involved in the writing process.
Okay.
And I've been working with a lot of talented people. Made tracks. I've just recently worked with Needles, Cal, Lily, that Ethan and Gordon Chambers, who I mentioned before, Lionshare and Jaden, they're so dope. A lot of people, Lil Eddie, Fuego, and it's just coming together so perfectly. At first, the sound was like all over the place, but I was like, you know what, I really need to like narrow down on the sound that I really want for this album, and it's coming together perfectly. So I'm so excited, and I really can't wait for everybody to hear it.
Cool. Do you have a title picked out for the album yet, or no?
No, not yet. I actually was thinking of naming it Perfectly Different after the song that I have, but I'm not sure yet.
Okay. And when can we expect this album?
This year, sometime this year. I'm going to speak it into existence.
Yeah.
Because I want it to come out this year, so.
Okay. And in terms of collaborations, are you going to be collaborating with anyone on this album?
I'm not sure. I really want to. I was thinking about Miguel or D.O.B., Bruno Mars, you know, hopefully it'll all come into fruition.
Yeah. You know, since you were 16 at the time of your first album, and you're a bit older now, you know, would you say there's lessons you learned, you know, since you released your first album?
Yeah, there are. Lessons we learned. I guess. I haven't been asked that question. I can't even think about certain lessons. I guess the fact that it's really hard when you think about it. Like it's like a lot of people like to think about this career as the easy career, or you know, it's all glitz and glamour. They just get to take pictures and do that and whatever. You know, like, but it's a lot of hard work, and that's something that I definitely learned. And while doing my first album, like a lot of the, I went on tour, and it's just a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
I'm prepping myself for that this time around.
Yeah.
Because I've just been like, not necessarily chilling, but you know, like I've been just doing studio. You know, I haven't really been doing promo, so when that comes, it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, you mentioned you were getting involved in the writing process more on this album. Can you explain, like, the growth in your sound that you think, like, fans can expect to hear between this album and the last one?
I would say it's definitely more mature sound, and it's a lot more raw and I would say organic to feel to my vocals, and just the lyrics, everything is just, I would say, so truthful and so just so raw.
Yeah.
That's how I have to describe it.
Okay, cool. That's all the questions I had for you. Is there anything you'd like to add?
I'd just like to add my Twitter, I guess.
Okay.
Karina Pasian is with it.
Okay, cool. I'll get that on there. You know, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and you know, best of luck with this new album. I look forward to hearing it.
Thank you so much.
All right, no problem. Have a good night.
Nice to meet you.
All right, you too.